Thalamus.
You said thalamus. That's correct. Now, what is this little part here? This hyperdense region. What is that? What do you think that is?
The intermediate
The
mass.
intermediate mass. That's the intermediate mass. Now, what is this structure here coming above the thalamus? Yeah, we said that was part of the limbic system. What is this here?
Corpus callosum.
Corpus callosum. Now, what is this right here? Midbrain. What is this channel passing through the midbrain?
The cerebral aqueduct.
Right, and then what is this here?
Fourth ventricle.
Ventricle.
Okay. On top, along the roof of the midbrain, what is that? That's the position of the corpus quadrigemina. Okay? The corpus quadrigemina. What is this structure right here? Pituitary gland. So what is this? This hyperlucin area? Sphenoid sinus. Sphenoid sinus. We talked about this right here, right?
Yes.
What is this structure here?
Pons.
Pons. And so what would this be?
Medulla
Oblongata. Okay.
What are the illuminated two spots on the image next to that one you were pointing at?
The eyeball.
Right here, those are eyeballs.
Zero.
Okay. Now, what lobes are these here?
Frontal.
Right. What are these two things right here and here?
Oh, are those the peduncles?
Those, yeah, this is the midbrain, so these are along the ventral surface, so that's the cerebral. What is that opening that the midbrain is passing through that we demonstrated on that model?
Wait, one more time?
What is the opening through which this midbrain passes to attach to the hemispheres? It's called the tentorial notch. It's the opening in the tentorium through which the midbrain passes. Okay? What is this right here? We're starting to catch a little. What is this structure here?
Corpus callosum.
No. This is the anterior-most aspect of the cerebellum. It's peeking through. Does that make sense? Notice the architecture is different. It has folia. Now,
Okay.
this gentleman has an abnormality that's clearly visible in some of the images. What abnormality does this gentleman exhibit? This is why I saved this one.
I feel like I could guess, but I
feel
might
like
not
it's
be
something like this.
right.
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
Where is that tumor?
Occipital.
No, not occipital.
No, that's in the cerebellum.
Yeah, here's the occipital lobe. This is the location of the tentorium. This here is below.
Oh.
This is the posterior fossa. This is a cerebellar astrocytoma.
Where's the tumor?
The tumor is located within primarily the right hemisphere of the cerebellum.
Oh.
It's
That's
huge.
big.
Okay, so here it is here. Here's the cerebellum over here. Remember, Bride's piggyback over the brainstem.
So in that picture you were just pointing to, would we be able to tell it was a tumor or only the one?
Oh, it's you, yeah, yeah. The architecture's distorted. It's way too big. It's compressing the opposite hemisphere.
No, I mean
So-
like on the one on the left, on the top left.
Oh, this one right here?
Can we tell from
Yes, yes.
How do you tell from that?
Because you see a mixed density here. There's hyper density and there's hypodensity.
So
That's
on
what-
the practical,
one below that
Is
is
This one you wouldn't be able to tell.
Okay.
That's why I was confused.
Okay.
Cody's at the door.
Yeah.
But
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I was like, how does it look like that in one view
Okay.
and then like that?
All right.
Yeah.
Can you hear below you?
No, y'all are okay. Y'all okay. All right. Let's look here. What are these structures here? Those would be the lateral ventricles. And so what is this between the two lateral ventricles? That's the septum pellucidum.
Yeah, I said that right.
Okay? Up here. Can you hold on just a little bit, if you don't mind? Hold it right like that.
I was slacking.
Now, these are lateral ventricles, they're draining into this right here. What is this?
Third ventricle?
Yeah, it's a slit-like ventricle between the two hemispheres. The thalamus on one side would be here, the other thalamus would be right here. Okay. Now you can tell that this was used for a practical. Hold that right there if you don't mind.
Because there's a
We'll
sticky.
point to here the pituitary. What is this bony structure here called?
Sella turcica.
Pituitary, and then the other arrow is here.
Loud and fresh.
Sinus.
Sphenoid sinus.
Okay. Jordan?
Where do I put them?
Just on the other table.
I'm in the corner.
Behind one of your.
Behind Guinevere. Hey, Guinevere.
You notice that many of the images will be negatives, meaning that if you look at the gray matter, it looks white. If you look at the white matter, it looks dark. So this is a type of negative image.
Back to whatever.
Okay. On this image here, you're not catching the particular plane isn't catching the entire length of the lateral ventricle. So you're seeing the anterior horn and the posterior horn, but you're not catching the entire thing. This little bulge here and here is going to be the thalamus on either side. Here you catch more, and this plane's a little bit higher up. You catch the entire lateral ventricle here. What is this structure here? With the cerebral peduncles? That's the midbrain. Right. It's hard to tell here, but there's cerebral aqueduct right there. That little dark area in the center.
What's the sticky?
Oh, the sticky?
Oh.
I guess it was probably meant to ask what lobe is that.
Okay.
Frontal.
What are
And
the,
that's going to be, I think that's going to be part of the temporal lobe.
Okay.
By the way, what is this right here? Part of the brainstem,
midbrain?
but that's going to be the pons. If it was the midbrain here, you'd see the cerebral peduncles.
Okay.
But this is a little bit more inferior. Okay, you're catching more of the temporal lobes here. Okay, you see it. You're catching more of the cerebellum. This is you just see a little bitty piece of the upper cerebellum. Here you're catching more cerebellum. This is the. These are simple. What you'll notice is the cerebellum has a classic architecture. These are called folia. And so if you just look at the architecture of the tissue, it looks different from the hemispheres. A little bit. Now, oh, hold on right there. If you look really closely here, this is the internal capsule. Okay?
Okay.
This would be the thalamus. This would be the caudate nucleus here and here, anterior to the thalamus. And lateral to the internal capsule here is going to be other parts of the basal nuclei. Now, here's the corpus callosum. Crossing from one side. This is the anterior aspect of the corpus callosum. This is the posterior. Remember, it's kind of coming like this to connect. It's really a sheet that's connecting one hemisphere with the other. What is this peeking through right here?
Is it cerebellum?
Cerebellum. Yeah, that's part of the cerebellum.
It's about the cerebellum.
What is it? How'd you get these?
Some of them are our patients, either myself or Dr. Weiser.
You stole them.
Well, no, we kept them at our office and we just brought them with us.
Are you allowed to do that?
Well, yeah, because how come how come if I get an X-ray I can't keep it? Like, not that I know what to do with it, but
You can get a copy of it.
I asked to keep mine and they said no.
You can, it's your
I'm
right.
upset. I'm
You can
going
get a
back.
copy made.
Yeah, you can go with the
Yeah,
copy.
you can.
Okay, now I want to show you again. This is going to be the midbrain. And look here, what is that structure right there? It's passing right through the dorsal aspect. Cerebral aqueduct. Okay? And again, at the level of midbrain, you see just the very top part of the cerebellum. Peeking through.
Oh, my bad. I swiped that.
Swiping, no swiping.
I know, I'm so aggressive. Fight.
Okay. Hold on to that right here. What lobes are these?
No, that would be temporal.
Temporal lobes again. Temporal lobes. The frontal lobes are going to come
It's
above
really
the eye.
low on the head.
The front lobe's going to come all the way up to here.
Right.
Okay, but above the level of the eyeballs. So these are the temporal lobes. This would be what?
That's
Cerebellum.
No, that's
Cerebellum.
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 Because it's lower.
Can you see the parietal lobes in any of
Not in
these?
this section here.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you move up higher, okay, some of this is frontal, some of this is parietal.
Right.
That scared me every time.
Okay. This is a contrast view where they've given the patient contrast and it lights up the bloodstream. And as the blood is filtered into the CSF through the choroid plexuses, it's going to light up the ventricles. So what's at the tip of the pointer here?
Third ventricle.
Yeah, that's the third ventricle. Whereas up here, these would be the lateral ventricles.
What about the other sticky?
The other sticky, where is it? Oh, right here. What is this right here?
That's the
Posterior horn?
Yeah.
No, this is the internal capsule.
capsule.
Remember,
Oh,
this
it's a
is,
different-
these
okay.
are all pyramidal tracts coming down like this and being condensed here at the level of the internal capsule.
Is the light part coming down from the lateral ventricles in some of the views, like in the middle, is that part of the cerebral aqueduct?
Let's see, where?
The middle second row.
Here?
Yeah.
You mean right here?
Uh-huh.
I don't know what that is. I can't tell.
Oh.
Can't tell. It's not as discreet as you'd like to see.
Don't cough when I
Okay.
do.
So,
He's trying to get away.
Obviously.
what are these radio-opaque structures here within the lateral ventricles? They're lighting up.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
What's at the tip of the pointer here? What is that?
So it's within the lateral ventricles, so it is going to be the
Why is it lighting up?
because blood's going through it.
Right, so what does it have to be?
Interventricular foramen.
No, these are choroid plexuses.
Oh.
Those are the structures that produce CSF, where CSF is filtered from the blood. What is this structure here?
Corpus callosum.
Corpus callosum.
I don't want to be in it. It's very wide.
By the way, this is, when you look at an MRI, this will be the scalp film here. With respect to all these other images, this shows you how the brain is being sliced. So these are going to be transverse images. Okay? And each one of these slices is going to represent one of these numbers.
That's like how this model is set up.
Yes.
Same concept.
That's right, same concept. Okay. By the way, if I would point to this, what would this be right here?
Brain stem.
You know? The brain
Seminal canal,
magnet's right
spinal
here.
cord.
So this has to be the spinal cord. This has to be the spinal cord. Okay. What do we see right here?
Cerebral aqueduct.
No, it's a little too big for that. It's between the pons and the cerebellum. What is that chamber between the pons and the cerebellum? Fourth ventricle. The fourth ventricle.
Is that also it pictured in the middle, right?
Yeah,
It's not as prominent, but.
right, it's
okay.
not as prominent here. It's starting to expand here.
It goes from like super dark
Now,
to
what
like.
type of images, if you just saw a scout film here, what type of slices are these? In what plane?
Frontal.
Yeah, those are frontal slices corresponding to what we see here.
It's the same
Frontal
way.
and frontal.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
both the same.
they're the same
That's
thing.
smart. Yeah.
Don't feel weird.
Now, this right here is the midbrain. This is where it's passing through that tentorial notch. Here, this more expanded portion is going to be the area of the pons.
Okay. My ab workout for today. Just kidding. That's not it. I thought you were about to do this.
All right. So you should start to recognize certain things. What is this little opening here?
Cerebral aqueduct.
Yeah, you can feel that's still part of cerebral aqueduct. This is the midbrain. This is the very front part of the pons. Here's the midbrain here. Of course, cerebellum, cerebellum, cerebellum. Occipital lobes here.
Dr. Penner, do you ever see things and you're like, oh, I'm not going to point that out because I want to use it on the practical?
No,
I think that was.
I
a
just
lot.
wonder.
no.
I wondered that too.
Like this will
Like,
get
oh,
on.
this is a really good whatever. I'm not going to point it out. I'll use it on the practical.
Right, figure it out.
I would do it. Definitely.
What do you think is located right here, this dark area?
The
Retina?
What do you think? This is the eyes, but what is that dark area there?
The retina.
No, the retina would be along the posterior
That's the.
aspect.
Oh, right.
Is that the no?
That would be where the lens is located. That would be the location of the lens.
Why does it look like that in the
Where
It- I
it's
guess it's-
deformed.
yeah, is it just because of the cut?
What's that?
The location of the bottom right pictures, all of those, they look like deformed, but obviously they're not. Is it just because of how the
Because these
view
are
is?
just like
is-
sagittal and you
I think
lose
it's
the-
because it's way off the midline.
Okay.
It's some people would call it parasagittal. What are you catching right there?
pituitary.
That's the pituitary gland, right? What is this right here?
Maxillary sinus.
That looks like a.
Is that looks like the inside of the mouth? So.
So what would that be, you think?
Not the tongue.
It's the tongue.
Oh, look at
Not
you.
the tongue.
What are these structures here?
Why is the tongue so big?
I know.
What do you think is
I
located
think
right
it's because
here?
like your mouth is closed. So like if you
that whole.
They almost look like little air cells.
is that a, no?
Yes.
Ethmoid sinuses.
Ethmoid sinuses,
I'm gonna
yes.
roll with this one. It's my good MRI.
Okay. What is this right here?
Maxillary
Maxillary
sinus.
That's the maxillary sinus.
It looks like someone blacked it out on the next one. Like it doesn't even look real. It looks like someone sharpied it on the to the right.
They did.
Obviously.
If I would ask, what is this structure right here, this groove?
Sulcus.
Central gyrus. I mean central sulcus.
Central sulcus.
Oh, really? It's way back there?
Yeah, it's a little bit more posterior than you would think.
Yeah. I was trying to find it on the sheet
maybe.
brain, but I couldn't.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Like fifth time or like fifth app?
Okay.
Like
fifth
What is
hour.
this,
okay.
what is this passageway here?
Internal acoustic meatus.
Now,
Yeah.
Yes.
Internal
The
acoustic canal?
station
that's
too?
external auditory canal,
Oh.
How do you know that it's external?
because it's entering into the ear. That's the ear right here.
So I guess at what point does it become internal?
Internals, it's on the internal would be on the other side of the middle ear cavity. If I asked you, what is this group right here?
Longitudinal fissure.
Longitudinal fissure, that's right.
Yeah, please ask.
Is that the internal
If I ask-
capsule?
What's that?
Up one and to the left? Is that the internal capsules?
Right here?
Yes.
No, these are lateral ventricles.
So the ones right next to
What,
lateral.
what is this right here?
Lateral.
Lateral.
Yeah, either lateral sulcus or lateral fissure.
It's like
Oh, by the way, hold on.
From the front.
What is this right here?
cerebellum.
All right, so what is going to sit right in here?
Oh, the tentorium.
The tentorium cerebelli is going to be right
cerebelli.
there. Okay. And right here, it's hard to tell, but this is the floor of the fourth ventricle.
Jordan does what?
Hasn't concrete. This one looks cool.
All right,
my
what's
life.
wrong here? There's something obviously wrong in this X-ray. What's the diagnosis there?
The left side looks different than the right.
Well, remember that this person is lying with his head back here, his feet toward you. So this is going to be the right side. This is going to be the left side.
So his ethmoid side?
So he's got right maxillary sinusitis.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. What are these right here?
Version? No.
These are little air cells within what?
A mastoid.
Yeah, those are the mastoid processes.
From an MRI, how would you tell if you had a deviated nasal septum? Like, what would it look like?
It would bow.
Okay.
It would bow to one side.
Okay. Because I had someone that happened to.
I don't understand the data. It's like up like this. So. Okay.
Now let me ask you this.
C-mastoid.
What is the problem right here?
Is that a chest?
It's curved.
This is the abdominal aorta,
Oh.
and it balloons out here.
Oh, that's a big issue.
That's a big old AAA, abdominal aortic aneurysm.
AAA, not the car kind.